All friends from the comic book world actually is not going. So let's start this again. Hello, friends from the comic book world. My name is G.
My name is Hector. Sorry, got there. Got stuck there. Go on.
And we're here to talk about the September 23rd, 2024 FOC. I'm laughing because I don't know why.
Yeah,
Anyway, it's been
it's one
that
of those
day.
days. Gee, it's
Uh-huh.
one of those days.
So Hector and I, we work for Penguin Random House. So the titles that you'll see today are those that we can sell around the world. And aside from this YouTube channel, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X at PRH International Comics, where we'll post our news and updates on there. So check us out on social media. And we'll go ahead and get started with our picks, which Hector is first up.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
been a while since I picked something other than cover for these videos, so it's awesome. I got to pick Your Light in April Omnibus 1, Volume 1 to 3. This is one of my favorites mangas of all time, and the anime too. This is by Naoshi Arakawa. This is a classic already. I mean, it's if you don't know about this, I will tell you about it, a little bit about it, but you should know this is extremely well loved since it came out as a manga and then as a anime too. They did an amazing job with the adaptation. So now having this omnibus, which I love that Kodansha is doing these omnibus for some of the more classic uh, series, um, because they deserve it, and also it's great for not just for fans like me, but also for new readers. So this is the moving musical drama about love, life, pain, and passion that inspired a hit anime. Um, Kosei Arima was a piano prodigy. Kosei is the guy on the left with the glasses. And until his mother, who was really cruel and as a taskmaster with him, like pushed him a lot, she passed away suddenly. And that changed his life forever. And he's like drifting with no clear idea if he's going to continue with piano or not, because he was doing really, he felt like it was more for his mom. So as he's doing that one day, he comes across this amazing violinist called Kaori Miyazono, who's the blonde girl that you see on the right. And she has a very distinctive, unorthodox style of playing. But she's also like a very fun, happy soul, and she has this view about life and music that draws him in, and it just gets to him. And yes, this becomes like this beautiful friendship, romance, a little bit very light romance story, but it's also about what we decide to do with our lives and the time that we have and how we view our future and what we want to do in our future and what the expectations are from us ourselves and from our parents and our friends and all of that. It's there's so much in here that is extremely beautiful, extremely deep, funny and sad and cute, and it's gonna touch every feeling in your in your being, really. I You can tell, as you can tell, I love this story. So, like I said, this is a 600-page omnibus, collecting volumes 1 to 3, sorry, I should say. And in December, we're gonna get also the volume 2 collecting volumes 4 to 6. So we'll continue until we have the full story. And that's it. Definitely read it. If you haven't read this, come on. What are you doing? You have to read this. You have to pick it up.
All right, and then next up is cover picks. So the one I picked is
Yep.
Spider Boy, issue number 12 by Federico Vincentini, who is the 2023 Stormbreakers, like class of Stormbreakers. And so this is a variant, Stormbreakers variant. Vincentini is an Italian artist, and This one I picked because, well, you're not seeing, we're introducing Spider-Girl. It's a question of who is Spider-Girl in this one. There are variants where you do see Spider-Girl in the cover, which is not this one. But I do like multiple covers, but this is the one I ultimately chose. Because we have I just like the silly Storm Cloud, honestly. That's why I picked it. With
Yeah.
Mohawk Storm. I don't know. Something about that Storm Cloud spoke to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really liked it. So yes, yes.
I love that it's not enough that the poor Spider Boy has to deal with dinosaurs, but also with a cloud on top of him, which is very annoying. All right, cool. Next, it's one of my picks. This is Venom War Lethal Protectors #2. This is the Luca Maresca design variant, uh, part of the Venom Wars saga or arc that we're going through right now. And this is a 1 in 10. Um, and if you don't know, well, first of all, this is written by Xavier Perzada and also illustrated, not just the cover, but illustrated by Luca Maresca. Um, and so Sabir Pirzada, who's the writer, he's from Pakistan, and Luca is from Italy, from Salerno, Italy. And just so you know a little bit about the story, this one, if you don't know, is Sable forming a team of symbiotes to fight the symbiotes, which are zombie symbiotes. And in this issue, spoiler alert, but kind of spoiled by the cover, Agony takes over Silver Sable as a host. And I love this one because this one shows the design that Luca Maresca did for this new iteration of these two characters as one, right? And it looks so awesome. I'm always been such a big fan of Silver Sable. I think it's one of those characters in Marvel that has been very underutilized, and I love that it's sort of she shows up out of nowhere in stories. It's like in the when you least expect it. But I love that she gets this team to lead, and it's sort of Venom meets Suicide Squad kind of thing. So yeah, and I love Luca Maresca's art. I have many of his comics from before, but this one I love what he's doing with this and the direction, and of course the story comes from Xavier Pirzala, who's doing an amazing job on this title too, as with many other titles that he's worked on. There you go.
All right, next up is the Carlisle School for Kings, issue #1. This is the cover A by David Castelluccio. There we go. So
Good
this
job.
one, maybe.
No, you did good. You did good.
I did good. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know, but
Anyway.
sounded good. Sounded good.
Um, we have, as the title implies, Carlisle School for Kings, which is basically the school that opens its doors for the best and brightest young people throughout the kingdom. So there's this tradition that, or basically a decree enacted by Godwit himself to ensure that the king, like basically if you did well enough and are trained and they look for candidates who have like heart, strength, and mind, a candidate who is exceptional, and the best out of the best who attends this school would essentially be crowned the king for the next 30 years. So basically, this was enacted because they wanted to have a king who is young enough to have the idealism and the hope that you tend to see in the younger generation, and you want that to thrive continually. So this is how the cycle of kings have always been chosen. And so what is kind of strange is that we have this character named Emmeline Heron, who is basically a daughter of traders, and
Mhm.
even she is not denied entrance into this school. So it's kind of like, oh, you want this hope and idealism for the next king, but like you clearly invited the wrong girl into the school. Um, so this is her journey. This is a epic fantasy that is a four-issue series. This is by writer Nelson Greaves, who's the screenwriter of many popular TV shows, including the thrilling show 24, 24
Mhm.
Legacy. Joe Pick is another one of them. So really cool, fun premise. So I had to pick this for this week.
Very cool.
Mhm.
And we continue with Kanto, A Place Like Home, number 5. This is a cover B by Gax, who is Guy Pascal Perez. Kanto. What can I say about Kanto? We talk about Kanto on these videos all the time because G and I love Kanto. But this is issue 5 of 6 of this series. New one with since Kanto moved to Dark Horse again by creators David Booher and Drew Zucker. Um, and this is the final confrontation arrived. That's what the description says. It's the penultimate installment of the Charlemagne saga, and Kanto finally faces his nemesis. He needs only to get close enough to the evil wizard to replace his heart. And things are happening. It's getting very exciting. I mean, it's always been very cool and it's been excitement and all that, but this one is getting so tense. And then we got this cover by Gox, which I mentioned. This guy Pascal Velez, an illustrator, very well known in France. He's worked with the video games and animation, and obviously with comics. If you recognize this art, this beautiful art, very intricate, very uh, it's like very steampunk with colors, which I love. It's very similar to it's his style. It's very well recognized as his style. If you look up online his Gax's style, you'll see it follows sort of the same formula, but it's very beautiful, very detailed. And recently, he did another cover that back in July for Dawn Runner, also from Dark Horse. He did one of the covers for issue number 4. And I believe either you and I talked about it. I don't know. One of us talked about it at some point, and it's very, very similar to the style. So this is very beautiful. You see Kanto here. You see obviously a heart right next to him, and he's just like walking towards danger, as he always is. It seems in the stories. So here we go. Very cool.
All right, next up, Paranoid Gardens, issue number 4. This is the cover B by Tread Moore, the artist for the cover. Like the premise here, which I'm just gonna repeat. I know I picked this before. I'm pretty sure I picked the issue number 1 because these covers have been really interesting and beautiful. But as a reminder, this is about a nurse in a bizarre like care center filled with like supernatural beings like aliens, ghosts, and superheroes. Superheroes, yes. So
Yeah.
I like this cover because you have like behind her what seems to be like a normal like park bench scene, but in front of her we have a very like trippy like and psychedelic but beautiful like almost like a vision or like in front of her, which is I don't know. I like that cover so much because of the way it looks. So yeah, and I think it fits
Yeah.
well with the story as well. Hmm.
It kind of gets you in construct between the psychedelic fantasy in front of her and behind her, sort of the reality of the bench. Her shadow is there, so she's there, and even the badge floating. I think it's a very nice detail to have. It's very cool.
And now that you mention the shadow, like in front, in
Yeah.
reality, she's just wearing like this cardigan, but the shadow makes it
Yeah.
looks like a shadow of a monster in a way. Like if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't if you don't
Like,
know and if you're just looking at the shadow. So it's just
yeah.
things are not what as it seems to be, which is why I like
Exactly.
it. Even like the
Very,
way
very
that
cool.
the letters are printed, because it looks like it's like
Yeah.
typewritten uh with the way that the creators' names are and the way that issue
They
number
look they
4.
look like yeah, like the labels. What do you call those?
Yeah.
The labels, the machine label things.
hmm
Yeah, they look very cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
really
it.
cool. Oh, yes, and a piece of news.
Yeah.
This is the fragrant flower blooms with dignity. This was all over the internet. It gets it's gonna get an anime in 2025, and it's from the studio of Cloverworks, who also did work on Butcher the Rock, for example. And so, if just a little bit about the story, we have this high school, which is like this all boys school that is basically takes on the lowest of the lowest, like
Yeah.
the tough boys, like the dregs of society, they go to this school. And next door, we have a girls' high school who, like, its attendees are like wealthy, high class families who send their precious daughters. And so we have like this Romeo and Juliet, these two schools, two different characters. We have Rentaro, who's like this fierce dude, gentle at heart like from that boys' high school, and he's helping his family's business at like a bakery type of thing. And he meets the girl, Haruko, who's like that from that wealthy girls' high school. And they discover that they have an interest in desserts. Like she really likes them. He obviously has to like them because his family is in the business. So like they're friends respectively, or like the students at their respective schools do not agree with, like, it's like, why are you hanging out with him? Why are you hanging out with her? Like they're different, they're of different social classes, like completely.
Mhm.
They don't really realize why it's a problem. They just like they both love desserts and they just bond over it. So
Yeah.
so they don't realize this is a huge problem apparently, that they are friendly towards each other. So yeah, so it's like if you take a look at I should have pressed the button for it. I don't know if it's gonna go now.
That's
Yeah, there
okay.
we go. I should
I
have
was
looked
gonna
at
say,
this.
but I didn't want to interrupt you. But yeah, but you get, the viewers should get that you can go watch the
He's in the main
teaser on
character
online.
seat in the back
Yeah.
of the boys' high school. She's like
Yeah.
flowy hair, flowers. I
Yeah.
just love the cake,
Yeah.
aquarium
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a way. There always has to be an aquarium. It looks very pretty. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm excited. Oh, I should mention underneath the trailer that's going right now, the
Oh,
mangaka did like a celebratory, yay, the release of the anime
yeah.
illustration. So they did a piece
On their
of art
post. Yeah.
on the
That
post.
was from the
So that's
post.
what you're
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
here. So okay, and that's
All
it.
right. Awesome.
Oh yeah, I should end it.
Well, unless you
Or
want me
you can
to,
stay
that's fine.
around more. Take a look at our other
Yeah.
videos too. But that's it for this week. As always, Hector and I, we really enjoy doing these videos. Comment down below on what you'll be picking up on this FOC. And with that, we close it out today. Enjoy your day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.